Hello. I'll get out of chat really quickly and reset it there. Hi, Cubert. Where are you? That it's morning. That's crazy. Whoa. Sorry, I made my Premiere Pro window just wig out. If I... Oh, that didn't work. Okay. You can call it morning if you just woke up. I'll allow it. I've never done this before. What happens if I...
If you were a peasant in the Middle Ages...
That's weird. What is not translating? Oh, now it's gone. Okay. Fascinating. Ah! Oh my god. Oh. Okay, I see the problem. There's too many windows. That's silly. So we probably want game capture turned off. Okay, there's window capture. But it seems like something is not translating from the program to OBS. What's that about? What's that about? I wish Hampton was here to tell me what I'm doing wrong. I am doing it. I'm breaking my own rule. I said I'd never stream myself editing, but I really do need to get this done. But it's gonna be like kind of a bummer for me if I just spend the next 2 hours before the game trying to figure out OBS so y'all can see what I'm doing. That'd be actually super duper obnoxious. Yeah, okay, so there's that. And if I just pull this up to the front, then it should appear, right? And yet it fucking doesn't. Why is that? Just edit it and sometimes check in on chat. And we just be hanging out, or what's no, Ethan, I don't do digital copies. Or do you mean the physical copy? I could see myself buying Obsession. I don't know. I have my means to get a hold of this stuff that I want to watch, so I usually don't bother buying anything. But it's possible. If I turn on desktop audio, then probably then one assumes that if I play this, then
And at many other times in many places in the world, especially Europe, one of your favorite things to do was party. Parties are super important to humans. Personally, I kind of think they're the meaning of life.
Should
and
hear
certain
it.
people in certain areas agreed with me so hard that they would make whole states.
I think it is. I think that is working. Too insecure, like people see the discarded takes as stuttering. Rough cut's done. So this is just finding clips. I definitely would never stream myself editing raw footage. I draw the line at that. You hear it? Okay. So maybe it isn't window capture that I need. Maybe it's instead. So I turn off window capture. Okay, game capture doesn't work, which makes sense since this is not a game, but it seems like display capture would be the one, right? Ugh. Okay. Never gonna get anything done. It's so weird though. Why is the window frozen though? Why isn't it picking up anything else that I'm doing? It's picking up my mouse. Premiere sucks to stream. Does it? There's a plugin. I'm gonna go to Lake Travis and walk in and never come out. What do you mean there's a plugin? Why can't this shit just work? Why can't we actually fix anything that actually needs to be fixed? I understand that OBS, like fixing the window capture on OBS is not a high priority, but every single streamer uses OBS. This is not like some kind of niche program. It should work smoothly and as intended. NDL tools. Oh, NDI tools. Does that mean I have to restart all of OBS and whatever? I could not lose sadder. It's been an annoying day, you know. The Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship by 1 vote, so you know, big swaths of my family came really, really close to being non-citizens overnight, even though they've been in this country their entire lives. So, because of 1 vote. I'm not feeling great about American freedom today, if you can imagine. It's okay. Oh shit, look, it's that child calling himself John Galt. Welcome back, man. It's been a minute. I hope you've been well. Okay, NDI. We can try. Let's see how difficult it is to download. People are what is malding? Did you just make a word, or is that a typo? I can't tell. But people on the far right are indeed super pissed about it. This is not bode well for the state of the country. The only people pleased about the Supreme Court decision are complete centrists, just liberal centrists who are complete proceduralists and don't seem to understand the gravity of a clear and obvious statement of the Constitution being upheld not by a 9-0 vote, but by a 5-4 vote. That's super nuts and really concerning. This process cannot be used by the file because it's being used by another process. What does that mean? What? What's that mean? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, sure, I accept the agreement. Yeah, wow, definitely read the whole legal statement. Observe as I sign away all my rights. Confirm, I have read this entire privacy policy. Do I agree to de-identified data? No. Okay. Would it have been retroactive? I doubt it. I don't know. But I really doubt it. I really don't want to water the tree of liberty if they're really pushing for it yet. It really does kind of seem that way, huh? Means there's some some absolutely asylum worthy takes out there 1000%. What was the word you used? Malding. Yeah, melding. I must know the etymology of this word. Melding. Oh, mad and balding. I see. So, malding. Okay. It's funny. Why does the internet hate the bald so deeply? The source file is corrupted. What the fuck is going on with it? This has been also a constant issue with my computer over the past couple months, that like everything I download is corrupted. Every time I try and upload something to Google Drive, it's corrupted. An error occurred while trying to read the source file. The source file is corrupted. Why? Try again. Fuck's sake. Clay. My SSD might be dying? What's that mean? Dying how? How do I revive it? Do I just buy another one? Is it just like burned through physically? SSDs wear out after a certain number of write cycles. Use the internet connection, you say. My computer is a custom PC. I'm not sharing my data. I did read the privacy policy. Yes, do the thing. Let's see if it works this time. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna scrub through footage on my own, and you guys can just listen to all the stuff that I'm doing. It sounds like a terrible viewing experience to me, but whatever. I'm not the boss of you. You can do what you want. Okay, this time it worked. Maybe. It's installing, at least. How's my day going? It's fine. It's fine. My day is fine. My buddy just told me that he's representing one of the Prairieland defendants on appeal. He's a lawyer. That's cool. That's super, super sick. My day's fine. The other day, every now and then, and it usually, God, I don't want to register, dude. I don't want to do that. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Maybe I'll try an editing stream another time. I mean, I will still edit during the stream. I have to, but you all just won't see it. You'll see my face in the corner here instead while I do my job. Yeah, also very glad that Ben is able to make content again. Shit's fucking wild. I, as you may hear me say in this video, depending on where, depending on how much audio you hear, I found Reckless Ben several years ago when he did his expose of McKamey Manor. Y'all hear about McKamey Manor? Let's see. Well, I'll tell you. Oh yeah, I was in that leftist cooks video. My voice was anyway. Yeah, if you grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s and were in any kind of like alt or goth or, you know, or punk or emo or just like weird kid kind of scene, then you definitely heard about McKamey Manor. It was supposed to be like the most extreme haunted house on the planet, and it was so extreme that they would pay you $20,000 if you actually made it all the way through. And it turns out that it was actually it's just like so transparently just a scam for I can't believe I'm saying this, it's super fucking weird, but it's very, very transparently a scam so that the disgusting shithead, horrific, reprehensible piece of shit owner can make like non-consensual torture fetish videos that he almost certainly sold. It's fucked. It's really, really dark. And Ben just became a total thorn in that guy's side. And like, I don't think that the business itself is officially shut down, but he exposed it so badly that it's just like it's never coming back. Everybody knows who this guy is and what he's about, and I think that's great. Yeah, my understanding is that Ben was just kind of a, you know, sort of was a slacklining YouTuber for a while, and it is just like kind of an adrenaline junkie, and sort of soft rebranded into cults and scams and doing ridiculous lawfare hijinks to try and get them shut down. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool work, I must say. I heard the lack of physical third place locations hurting TV show, right? Yeah, I heard that too. It's kind of going around. Oh yeah, there's no like local bar anymore or whatever. There's no but like I don't know how much I believe that. I think that I think that that's an industrial issue. It's a matter of the economics of the film industry, and the kind of writers that are being hired, because like having a third place in movies and TV, like that should, I would expect, you know, if the industry is hiring people who you know, because they're good writers, and the industry itself is run by executives who understand what good writing is, I would expect the third places that we are used to seeing in movies and TV to stick around just through sheer force of momentum. You know, that it's like third places are a really good like way to make a lot of plot points happen. And a good writer knows that, and a good writer should be able to, you know, pick up on that. And you see it in good writing all the time. I don't think that's like, you know, that rare. What's rare is that, what's rare increasingly is good writers, you know, so. Yeah, I had to sign a waiver and everything. Reckless Ben is the kind of quirked up white boy we don't make enough of anymore. Yeah, exactly. He's an incredible white. Good for him. Okay, let's see. There are several things I need to do. I need to get, you know what I need to do? And in fact, this actually may be something that I can successfully share my screen with. I need to get a bunch of, like, carnival footage. For reasons that will become clear if any of you end up watching this video. It is gonna be a Nebula and Patreon exclusive, at least for a couple months. Can I get my tabs out of the way? Turn off vertical tabs. That's better. But I'll also make it just like available for $1 or something on Patreon. I'm trying to like break loose of YouTube, or at least loosen my shackles a little bit, you know. The problem is that if I search, yeah, Carnival Brazil is better. That might get me there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, this is delightful. Show the average white guy way to be masculine, not toxic. Thank you. Yeah, Nebula. Good stuff. Oh shit, you know what? I forgot I have to send a message real quick. 1 second. Hope no clowns show up. Oh, but that's the point. We're looking for clowns. I've been on kind of a Hunchback of Notre Dame kick in the past week since I started making this video because of the angle I'm taking with it. So I get to include that in the beginning, which will be fun. This is pretty cool. I need some clownery though. Give me some clowns. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Let's go. Hang on, I'm gonna get more tea. Enjoy. Doggy. Why don't you leave me alone? Go take a nap. I actually think that The Hunchback of Notre Dame could make a very compelling live-action remake, but Disney will never have the stones to do it properly, so... and they won't have the stones to do it at all because of woke. For good reason, you know? But you could still do it. Like, the claim... Oh my god, people on the right say, oh, you could never make Tropic Thunder today. Of course you could. Of course you could. They just fundamentally misunderstand what woke is to begin with. Because it's not a word that actually needs a definition in their world. It's just you know, it's just a sort of catch-all boogeyman term. But Hunchback of Notre Dame is very of its time. It would require a lot of changes, and it wouldn't be for it was like not at all clear to me who it would be for. Like, you could get away with the kind of suggestiveness that they did in that movie in a kids movie then in a way that I don't think you really can now. Hey, there's some clowns. Hell yeah. Let's go. All right. Yeah. We can just go ahead. Oh. Okay, so that's enough. I'm just... That horrible watermark. I didn't like that. I don't want that watermark there. That's so obnoxious. This is such a good shot. And then it ends. What the fuck? Why can't I have anything nice? Let's make sure there's... Look at the pretty birds! Aww. Aww. Cute. More clowns, more clowns. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, fine. Okay. What else we got? Carnival in Bahia. Maybe they will have some clowns for me. Doesn't really look like it. Boop doo doo. Yada da 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 da. Holy. What's going on here? Yeah, I've already lost interest. Yeah, this is nuts. I wish this was shot horizontally. This is really good for my... That's really good imagery for my argument. This good Christian live stream. Yeah, barely subtle substitute for the N-word. Pretty much. If you search for clown in the Prelinger, is that how it's pronounced? I've never known. In the archives, the results are pretty good. But I specifically need carnival clowns. Like, classic carnival clowns. Not even circus clowns. Circus is too modern. I need carnival clown, like medieval clowning is what I need. I wonder what happens if I search Saturnalia. Saturnalia Festival. Surely somebody has recreated Saturnalia. Okay, apparently the answer is kind of. Ugh. Oh, Mardi Gras. Yeah, I should just look up Mardi Gras. Hi, buddy. You can't go outside. There's chickens out there. You'll scare them. Yeah, exactly. Return to tradition. Usually content, I don't know if I've never had content ID based on YouTube clips, but it's really, really rare. Nat Geo is actually the kind of company that might come after you for using their YouTube clips, but typically they don't really care. Because typically YouTube videos are owned by people who don't have the kinds of oh, what the fuck? Buddy, what the fuck is on your back? Stop. Oh, buddy. He's such an idiot. He gets excited, he sticks his head through the fence, and then I think he just like cuts himself on the barbed wire out there. Ugh. So he's got a big scab on his back. Fair footage of Twitch streaming treating their dog correctly. Thank you. I love my doggies. It's true. Just got a regular zoo at home. Somebody asked a question. What the fuck was it? Oh, what's the video about? The video is loosely about this looks promising. Hell yeah. Banana bread at work. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. This is exactly the stuff. Okay. Leave it to the Cajuns to give me what I'm looking for. Anyway, it's loosely about YouTube journalism and the conditions that produce a figure like Reckless Ben, who is a clown. My argument is basically that that YouTube is a perpetual festival of fools. It's a cultural structure that we came up with in order to give people the illusion of self-control, and like let them kind of let loose in a way that sort of that makes people seem sort of self-evidently chaotic and out of control and in need of, like, you know, a big strong government to come and guide them proper, you know. That's what all these festivals, that's where all these festivals come from. But they're also very, like, they're very ambivalent structures culturally because you know, the like a lot of weird shit happens at these kinds of festivals. And so I'm just trying to make sure these aren't fleas that he has. I don't think they are. I think it's a scab. But what did you do? God. But yeah, festivals can also be, like, pretty threatening to the status quo. But they live in that really weird, uncomfortable tension where they're an acknowledgement that of the fundamental kind of illegitimacy of power hierarchies, while at the same time reinforcing those power hierarchies, you know. So okay, so those are good sources. Now let's get some photos, maybe. Let's search on Google. I don't quite trust Ecosia to give me what I want. Don't look at my autocomplete. Morby Gras. About banana bread. Have you not seen the banana bread dance? One second. We'll go watch it, all of us together. Hope nothing fucking weird pops up in my recommendations. I've just absolutely destroyed my own algorithm. Banana bread dance. Banana bread, hell yeah. Banana bread, hell yeah. Where is it? Banana bread. Modern dance? Hey! Hey, hey, hey! No, no. He has my shoe. 1 second. Okay, I sent Russ to doggy jail for his doggy crimes. A little like The Purge, actually, kind of, yeah. Uh-huh, yeah. Oh, that's actually a really good point. Mr. John Galt, Twitch chat person. That's a really good point. Eventually I'll make a video about The Purge, and I think I may bring that into it, perhaps, if I haven't already, you know, exhausted my patience for the subject. We'll see with this video. Man, I was looking for the somebody did like an interpretive dance in the banana bread meme, and it's just like it's just not on YouTube, I guess, which is really too bad, because I think it's a great example of what modern dance actually is. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway.
Hell yeah. My mom told me if I wait for things, like, good things will happen to me, dude. And fucking I waited for some things, and I got some banana bread at work today, dude. Hell yeah. So it just goes to show that waiting for things is, like, worth it. But there's a lot of bad things in this world, dude. Like fucking skunks, dude. Hell no. Scratching your eye, but it's still fucking itchy, dude. Hell no. The fucking Cubs, dude. Hell no. Like getting paid not a lot of money, dude, for fucking working? Hell no! But banana bread at fucking work, dude! Hell yeah! Hell yeah, bro! Hell yeah! Banana bread, bro! At hell fucking work, dude! Hell yeah!
Delightful. So are all hierarchies inherently illegitimate? No. Only the hierarchies that are not agreed upon by everybody in whatever society we're talking about are illegitimate. The idea is not that all hierarchies are illegitimate, it's that no hierarchy is natural, you know? She's critical of Eureka recommendations. Get her. What type of clown would be a channel mascot? Probably a mime. It'd be Art the Clown. His doggy sentence up when the chickens go back inside after I hop off here. Banana bread. Hell yeah. Dude, I got some fucking banana bread at work today, dude. Hell yeah. There we go. That's the vibe. Are hierarchies that emerge in animals, wolf packs, etc. unnatural? No, of course not. Obviously not. I mean, really crucial here is... Oop, ABI. No, thank you. Really crucial here is to talk about this with a common definition of what natural means. The way I used it is actually not the way that I define natural. To me, like, everything that exists is by definition natural, otherwise it wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? When we're talking about something like hierarchy, though, which is a matter of which is able to shift depending on common agreement, that is not like there's no hierarchy gene in the human animal. Hierarchy is not something that we do on instinct. It's a feature of culture. It's something that we can change consciously and do all the time. That's what I mean by naturalized in that sense. There's nothing intrinsic about hierarchy to human beings. We can either choose it or not. Or not. Can you just, like, give me the whole image? Open image, a new tab. Okay, that's pretty good. We can just go ahead and screenshot that. Boop, 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 boop. Look how much fun they're having. Oh man, I'm never gonna be able to find these. Let's just make a new... Let's just do it right. Make a new folder. Not the lobsters. Don't confront me with the lobsters. This is not bad if, well, yeah, apparently Saturnalia is what it is depicting, so let's go get this painting. Perfect. Nice. Save image. Close the churches and the schools. It's the day for breaking rules. Come and join the feast of fools. I wonder what comes up if I search Feast of Fools. Say that reality is subjective. Trivially, yeah, of course reality is subjective. There is a physical substance to the world. My contention is that the physical substance of the world is not something that we're capable of seeing in its entirety, and so very much like in fact the actual like physiological structure of the eye, we fill in the gaps with whatever we either expect to see or want to see or need to see in order to keep our minds intact, you know. Your eyes do not see a complete, like, you know, landscape photograph of what you're looking at. There are blind spots all over your eyes, and you just don't realize it because your brain is filling in the spots that that you're not focused on. And I think reality, such as we're calling it, works very much the same way. Nice. Nice. That's pretty good. Oh, this is too. Save image. Oh, how big is it though? Is it gonna like... Can I search image? Visual search. I want this, but bigger. Yeah. What is this called? What is this painting called? It looks perfect. This is not bad either. What's this? Anything that's too hard to see. A fight between Carnival and Lent. Not quite the vibe. I just 1000 by 702 is not bad. I can always narrow it down later, I guess. Oh. Distractions. This medieval holiday party got so extreme the Catholic Church was forced to ban it. See what happens if your festivals get too Get too crazy? Get a little too threatening to the status quo? Ooh. They'll make you stop partying. Right. Ants don't work the same way people do, if you can imagine. This looks like it might be AI. I don't love this. That is not the vibe. Maybe this. That's pretty good. How big is it? No, not big enough. Ooh. Yeah, officer, I'm on a mission. Okay. Have fun, Markata. Good luck. That's a good one. Can you, there we go. Fuck yeah. Oh, it's too small. Visual search. Excuse me. This is not helping me. How about medieval carnival? Of course I didn't spell it right. I want this photo, but bigger. Bigger. Through Bing? Well, there's your problem. Let's go back to Google. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. But I want like massive blown up super high res so I can pan across them, you know, if I want to or have to. And this is not really quite the vibe. I'll keep it anyway. Hi, Hampton. Whoa. Whoa. Man. They went hard in medieval Europe. Lord, that feeling when the Lord gives you your daily bread and it's banana bread. Hell yeah. That's a good one, but it's too small. Once a year we throw a party here in town. Once a year we turn all Paris upside down. Every man's a king and every king's a clown. Once again it's topsy-turvy day. What a good movie. That's pretty good. If you click on the image size link under the title, is that Twoo? Image size link under the title. It didn't work. The Good War? Why would you mislead me in this manner? Rocky knocked my banjo over. It's rude. Image size under the title. I do not know what you mean. I thought perhaps I did, but I do not. Hellfire is, and I think I agree, it is the best villain song pop culture has ever devised. I watched that Sideways YouTube video about Hellfire the other day, since I'm in a Hunchback kick right now. And it's so good. And one of the things that he points out is that Frollo is the only person to actually sing the main, like, you know, the main musical motif. It's, that only shows up in Hellfire, which is very interesting. Like, that whole movie, I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't, like, purposeful, but this is good. But the vibe of the whole movie is so ambivalent about Catholicism in such an interesting way, you know? It really, I hate it when he does that. It really can't decide whether religion is a good thing or a bad thing. What the hell? Where are my screenshots? Okay, I'll just have to assume that they're there. Save. Everything is topsy-turvy at the Feast of Fools. Pieter Bruegel, the okay. Ah, you found it. So I guess I wonder who colored this. Oh, that's a nice big version of this painting. That's perfect. Thank you. Where is it? There we go. Beautiful. Sideways does got great videos. Bing shows the image size in a gray hyperlink beneath the title of the image. Oh, okay. If I ever go back to Bing, I'll keep that in mind. What do you say that was symbolic of? He didn't. It's just interesting. It's unusual, you know. And so like I don't think that it is directly necessarily symbolic of anything, except this just the sort of like unconscious tensions that existed in the filmmakers at Disney at the time that were really trying to manage the kind of stickiness of trying not to offend a Christian audience with your movie about you know, about the church hiding away this deformed man in a tower, you know. In the book, Frollo just is the archdeacon, and in the movie the archdeacon is a separate character who is like a good representation of the church. And so there's this weird sort of duality happening that just kind of like generatively emerges between the archdeacon and Frollo, and also Quasimodo as a, you know, as a sort of third prong of that. There's so many like interesting kind of symbolic relationships happening with all the characters, and the music just does such an incredible job of sort of exploring that aesthetically. It's a super interesting movie, and yeah, great voice actor. Jacob Jordan's Feast of the Bean King. All right, show me the Bean King. Oh, beautiful. The Bean King. There are so many. Size large. It's a little bit hard to see. It's just slightly illegible. I will try the next one. Heemskrix. Feast of Fools. Okay. Heemskrix. Feast of Fools. Oh, I already got this one, I think. Yeah. Oh, and Catholicism goes hard. You know, it's like all the influence of all the places that they exported all their stuff to, and all the traditions that they picked up over the centuries of, you know, one single maintained power structure, have just resulted in the sickest pageantry of, by far, of any Abrahamic religion. It's pretty cool. Seymour. We Catholics are simply better than y'all. I'll co-sign that as a confirmed Catholic. The gargoyles are canonically all in his head. I don't mind the gargoyles. I think they're fine. And they are, there are a couple shots where it's revealed that all the things that he imagines the gargoyle is doing are very much in his head, not actually happening. But because it's a Disney movie like that, the rules of that kind of get, you know, and this is the benefit of the abstraction involved in animation, that the rules of that get bent later on in like the battle around Notre Dame, where the gargoyles are actually doing things, you know. Hang on, Mr. Morbid is texting me. Hi, Mordant Substance. Are we talking about how Hunchback is the second best Disney musical? The first best is clearly Beauty and the Beast, and I won't hear otherwise. I hope you agree, Mordant Substance. We can talk about how Hunchback is the second best Disney musical. I can talk about both those movies all day long. Be nice, Hampton. Jesus Christ. That's correct. What's Victor Hugo? Victor Hugo was not trying to write a novel. Not like books didn't really work the same way back then. He was not interested in the characters so much as what the characters, how he could use the characters to argue in favor of the sort of preservationism of, you know, medieval architecture that he was trying to promote. Yeah. I would love to make a Hunchback video. I just need to get a bunch of other stuff done. Hampton, Catholicism's pretty strict. It's pretty severe too. It's just my favorite tweet about this that I saw recently was that all Catholics are either Italian Catholics or Irish Catholics. No matter where you are actually from, you're either an Irish Catholic or you're an Italian Catholic. If you're an Irish Catholic, then you think, you know, God will never forgive me for my sins no matter what I do. And if you're an Italian Catholic, you think, I do bad things, but the man in the box, he forgive me. You know, all of Latin America is Italian Catholics. Oh, hi Morag. Yay, I'm glad you're here. Obviously, I agree. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, tone is just an issue in Hunchback. But it's okay. Franciscan monks are, man, everybody's wrong. Get out. Franciscan monks are the chillest monks. You mean more Dominican monks. They're the hard asses. Franciscan monks are chill as hell. They're awesome. Franciscan theology is by far my favorite Christian theology. That's St. Francis. He, you know, as far as I can get into religion as sort of an animist, as far as I can get into organized religion, Franciscanism is the one that speaks to me most. St. Francis, preaching to the birds and animals, you know. Sister Bird, Brother Wolf. Here's Brother Cat next to me here, harassing Brother Fish. I think it's a beautiful way to approach the world, you know. Jack Skellington's best Disney princess. Pierre Knop, Feast of Fools. Okay. That's fun. Yeah, it's probably the wrong kind of style. Yeah, you're late, Morag. We already talked about the potential of a Hunchback remake. It's never gonna happen, and thank God for that. Never forgive Pope Francis for not excommunicating Biden. excommunication is it's a pretty big axe. Quite a dramatic tool to use. I wouldn't be at all surprised if in 20 years, if Pope Leo's still alive, or even his successor, if they if they excommunicate a bunch of the people claiming to be Catholic right now. I would not be at all surprised if J.D. Vance is excommunicated, even if it's just posthumously. Yeah, if you're Irish Catholic, it's all about guilt. Although Latin American Catholics have a fair amount of guilt too, but it seems like it's more about shame. It's more about shame for Latin American Catholics. You get a very, very guilt trippy, Latin American mother. This is something that the Italians, the Irish, and all the Latin Americans all share, and I think it truly is a Catholic thing. Yeah. Speaking of Presbyterian, all monks appear to be having way good a time. Yeah. How are there bigger fish? Oh, I'm not saying I disagree necessarily on the principle of the matter, but the Catholic Church is a very political institution. It is not entirely religious, the best you can hope for is the case for any organized religion, which is why I don't really cotton unto them, because it's like the religious, the spiritual principles, the best you can hope for in organized religion is that the political machinations of the world are always going to be subordinate to the spiritual principles of the religion, and it's really, really difficult to tell whether that's actually the case moment to moment, Franciscan theology over liberation theology. You absolutely can combine them. Definitely. They're not at cross purposes at all. Very rare to excommunicate people, yeah. One story you think would make a Disney classic they haven't made yet? Good question. Let's see. This is one of those questions that I can't, that somebody asks me to produce a specific story and all sense leaves me. I question whether I have ever encountered a single story in my entire life. Let's see. No, just give me a list. Just give me a list of classic European folktales. Yeah, I'd avoid the triple parenthesis too. Don't infect my chat. Don't bring that don't bring that nonsense here. It's bait for bad spirits. Cinderella, Jack and Beanstalk, the Snow White, Rumpelstiltskin. So many of these are just so dark. That's the problem with Hansel and Gretel. Oh, Princess and the Pea is pretty good. That's a pretty good one they never did. They could do that. What is The Lion and the Mouse? What? Okay, anyway. What else do I need? Oh, yeah. I need to look up Bakhtin, if there are any. Yeah, Bakhtin, grotesque body. Give me some good images for that. That's a good one. I mean, yeah, dude, because the triple parenthesis is like that's like, you know, that's deep 4chan genealogy. You want to stay away from that. Those are the like serious, like, Nazis. like not even just like, oh fuck Israel, look what they're fucking doing. Like even the kind of like anti-Semitism that comes from the left that's so reactionary and so awful, is quite a thing entire from straight up Nazism, which is where the triple parenthesis comes from. I don't know. I was just like, whatever. I don't know. Man, I don't care. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about anti-Semitism. I'm fucking tired, boss. You know? We already did this. 80 years ago we did this. Pisses me off that we have to do it again. That's interesting. Fisherman. Oh, Fisherman and his wife is good. I'm actually gonna be working on a video with Tail Foundry about that one. True. It's not a cabal. It's just lobbying and propaganda. Just normal shit. Just the same shit. It's always happened. This isn't the right place to rage bait, my friend. I don't think you'll get the get the reaction you seek. This is good. Can I not get this without the watermark though? That's super annoying. Give me visual search. Bing, save the day. For fuck's sake. See more sizes. There we go. Yeah, go back to YouTube, Morag. It's just nobody's interested in entertaining the idea that anything Israel is doing right now is appropriate or excusable. I mean, it's not even a point of contention. Like, just nobody's gonna engage with you about that. Tari. That's the reason you will only get sort of clowned on. if you try and talk about it. Ooh, Da Vinci Grotesques. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm talking with me. Because Hampton is a rage baiter. Recognize the place you're in, my friend. Am I rage baiter though? Of course you are, Hampton. Don't pretend. It's not cute. You don't gotta put on a show for the rest of us who know what you're about. Let's try through Google. Maybe it'll give me some without these fucking watermarks. Yeah, door slamming and treaty breaking. These are all really great. I wish they were... Jesus Christ, Russ. I wish these were sized better. You know? That one's pretty good. So weird. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's just like the kinds of dog whistles that you're using are just not going to land very well here. I don't think nobody here is I am not I don't think anybody else here is like, you know, a single issue type you know, shit, god damn it. Sorry, I'm distracted. I don't think anybody here is like, you know, putting on Black Bloc and keffiyehs and, you know, going out to protests on their weekends. Like you don't need to be like, you don't need to know what an intifada is in order to recognize that what Israel is doing is genocide. This is not even a particularly contested position in geopolitics. Like, you're not going to hurt anybody's feelings or like, you know, get under anybody's skin by saying things like after the intifada is over. Nobody gives a fuck about the intifada. It doesn't mean anything to me. Surely Israeli food gotta hit crazy. I'm sure it does. It's yummy. Anything Middle East influenced is yum yum yum. In what capacity is it a genocide? Because they're because they're targeting a specific kind of person as both a culture and a polity for extermination. That's genocide in pretty much the most basic way that international law recognizes. Truly doesn't get a whole lot more. That one's good. Truly doesn't get a whole lot clearer. And, you know, like a year and a half, 2.5 years ago, you know, even I would have been, because this is just not a, you can't have, like, pay attention to everything. I was sort of on the fence about whether it was genocide, but then I talked to a bunch of, like, you know, like for the Civil War video I did, I talked to a bunch of journalists for that video, for the research for it. That one's good too. And several of them had gone to Israel and covered Israel because they were war reporters. I talked to as many war journalists as I could find, and who would respond to me. And one by one, they all told me it's absolutely a genocide, that it has been, that Israel has been committing genocidal activity, if not outright genocide, for decades. And is certainly committing it now. So, theirs is the judgment I will trust. Did I already grab this one? I think I did. Well, let's go ahead and grab it again. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Met Museum. See what federal funding does? Just a nice, friendly download button. No watermark. Oh, oops. Oh, I did already get it. Whoops. That's okay. This is a better copy. Russ is having a moment in there. I don't know what he's hearing outside, but it's enemies. He's convinced of it. Israel is actively developing technologies to further refine and improve its target identification. Target of what? What kinds of targets? What kinds of targets? How active is this? How active could it be if, what is it? 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 people showing up to emergency care in Gaza being children. Like, specifically children, like, 6 and under. Like, kids, small children, little kids. What's that about? Pretty weird. Journalists are not the most reliable source of this sort of thing. That's such a funny thing to say, dude. What do you think is? The government? This is absolutely AI. I think it's time for you to change your screen name, my guy. Yeah, babies are terrorists, exactly. I'm on Bing again. Here we go. I have not gotten this one. Or maybe I have. Shit. I may have. I did. Wild stuff happening in the chat today. Size large, please. We've been over this. What a weird art trend. Grotesques. So strange that everybody was doing this. What's going on here? This is cool. How expressive the line work is here. That's really cool. I like it when you can see people's feelings that existed several hundred years ago. Why did Leonardo draw these weird faces? My question also. You activated a trigger word. John Galt, what do you think the West is? What's the West? That AI yellow tint, yeah. True. I haven't seen the werewolf trailer yet. Or have I? I think I saw a teaser, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, to talk about fucking topsy-turvy day. Iran is by far the most rational state actor in the region. It's fucking fucked. What is that? What has to happen in order for that to be the case, you know? Holy. Postponed by an hour? Why? For rain? Why? Oh, Hampton. You know, all those dangerous 4-year-olds. Yeah, okay. So they're not the West. They're in fact the Middle East. But I'd still like to know what you think the West is. What's the West? Like, what is the West as a, you know, as an ideological structure? What do you think the West is? What's the West? Too much rain, okay. How can caring about Israelites kind of stuck on the word Israelites. Isn't it Israelis? I don't know. Whatever. Israelites kind of strikes me as sort of like a archaic term. What do I want to? Whatever. What do I know? How can caring about Israel be caring about the West if Israel is not the West? I mean, I understand what the, like, I know what you will say. I'm just trying to get you to think critically about what you're considering the West and what its interests are. The claim that Israel has over that region is supposed to be ancient. It's supposed to, in fact, predate the West. So how can it be Western? What's that? What's that about? Oh, but you said it's aligned with the West, like Japan and Korea, which are also not the West. So how is this important for the West? What's the West? Somebody tell me what the West is. The West is essentially Europe, the US, and Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. But what is it? Because those aren't, like, coherent regions at all. Those are fucking scattered all over the globe. So so this obviously isn't a geological or a geographical thing. It obviously is an ideological thing. So what's the ideology? What's the West? Gotta hunt the fucking phasmid. No, Hampton. Mexico's not part of the West. That's full of brown people. Latin America and Africa can't be part of the West because they're full of brown people. Doy. Doesn't matter how influenced by Europe they are. Mexico and all of Latin America and all of Southeast Asia, all of Africa, they can never be the West. They're just some kind of tangential, who knows what those people are up to. They'll probably just follow whatever the West does. Of their own volition, of course. No coercion there. Yeah, is that Marx guy? That German guy? That German guy from the mid-1800s? Is he the West? What do we think? I have seen AHS Freak Show. I don't mind it. I think it was an appropriate use of grotesques, but I don't think it was a particularly good one. It's not a... It's one of the better seasons of American Horror Story, I think, but it's not great. Iranian professional diplomats going up against genocidal Israelis and dipshit America. I would oh my God, to be a fly on that wall, you know. Yeah, Israel's interests are strictly with Israel. They don't give a shit about America except in so much as they can use our stuff to kill Palestinians and Hezbollah and, all their enemies. They just want to use our stuff to kill people. That is the use they have for us. Is banana bread the West? So the West doesn't include Latin America, Caribbean, Pacific Islands. No, not no. I mean, not in the in the formulations of the West that I'm familiar with. God, I forget the guy's name. The West and the Rest is was his book. What's his name? Neil Ferguson. Yeah, but no, that I guess that's wrong. This is not the the West and the Rest. Neil Ferguson didn't come up with that phrase though. Who came up with that? No. God damn it. Be right back. Excuse me, kitty. Sorry. Can't believe he got me to break a book out on stream. Who's the guy? Huntington's. Yeah. The guy who thought that the future of the world was going to be like a fight between a bunch of different cultural spheres, the West, the East, and Japan is just its own special thing, I guess. Yeah, very Huntingtonian. The well-developed democratic nations historically associated with especially Europe. Why though? Because this is the issue. Okay. Well-developed is subjective. You're gonna have to be more specific about that if you want to continue along that line of argumentation. You're clearly not. You clearly can't just be talking about architecture, because the Middle East was and most of East Asia was way more developed for most of time than Europe. Democracies are kind of endemic to human societies. Those aren't European at all. And nations historically associated with Europe, I'll give you that. If people want to define the West as just like a sort of broadly European diaspora, and the cultures that they come up with, I think that's fine, but nobody ever just wants to stop there. It always has to be some claim to democracy or Christianity or some bullshit. Like, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. There's no such thing as the West. Man, there's no better way to get me distracted from the work I need to be doing. Oh my God, and a President Sunday raid? Man, y'all are in for some kind of conversation. Yeah, so this connection with the Roman Empire is super fascinating too. What do you think it is about the Roman Empire that is Western to begin with, but also like why do you think that this is so fascinating? This is such an interesting pathology that like sort of pathological theory strain in in what we term like Western civilization, Western intellectual tradition. Why do you think that the countries and cultures you consider Western should be considered to have more in common with the Roman Empire than like the Tudors or the Celts? Why is that? And along those lines, why is it then, if this Roman connection is so self-evident, why is it that Italians were not considered white until like the middle of the 20th century in the United States, at least? This is not a coherent definition. The West. It's goofy. It's fucking goofy. Yeah, and how can a country be partially Western? Is it the European parts of Latin America that make it Western, and then the rest is just like some kind of like dark morass? Who knows what they are? What is that about? Yeah, ancient Rome did have contact with ancient China. All these people fucking knew each other. This fucking drives me insane. This drives me insane about when people talk about civilizational history, we act as though everybody is just this like completely siloed, you know, shut off from everybody. Every single civilization is imagined in a vacuum. Like all of these people thought of themselves as the only people in the world. All these people knew about each other. Yeah, what is? Oh, you're getting swamped, fam. I do think that John Galt is probably a teenager, yeah, so. No. This is not, coherent description. This is not, there is no typically when we're talking about categorizing things like culture. You cannot say that they are typically this way, because if we're talking about culture, any exception disproves your rule fundamentally. You can't just say that it's a trend. That correlation is not, this is what the phrase correlation is not equal causation is like designed to address. If you want to just say it's, you know, the European diaspora, that's the West, fine. But there's no reason to emphasize democracy and well-developed more than, you know, I don't know, environmental decimation and genocide, and, you know, exploitative labor laws, or any of the other things that the European diaspora is pretty consistently responsible for. Yeah, raided back into undergrad, suffering Samuel Huntington. I'm so sorry. Oh God, I'm so behind in the chat. Oh no. Yeah, exactly. Are the Scots Western? You think the Roman Empire had more influence on the development of Europe than the Tudors and the Celts? That is fundamentally ahistoric and wrong. That's just like, that is a matter of the sky is blue fact finding. I really have to catch up here. Yeah, this is what we're all getting at here. The West as a term is this incoherent, made-up structure designed to provide cover for white supremacy. That's what the West is. Yeah, so you'd think the anti-Catholic sentiments among early Americans would signify a lot of disdain for the Roman Empire. This is one of my favorite, you know, sort of sustained academic debates. Just because it's one of those debates that, like, I'm sure phrenology was in the same camp at one point. It's one of those debates that is, like, obviously archaic and just hasn't realized that about itself, you know? The global liberal order, but the global liberal order, by your own definition, is not Western. The global liberal order is global. And what was the West before the global liberal order? Because that's a very recent thing. That's just like a, couple hundred years, if that. The global liberal order is pronouns and Hamas. Europe is just West Asia. True. Yeah, I had to go visit Graeber's article to remind myself of Huntington's name. That was the book I grabbed. It's a great article. Really, really good. If anyone wants a really, really good article to read on this, go read Graeber, There Never Was a West. It's very good. Very comprehensive. Yeah, you could easily argue so much of the global liberal order is sliding into fascism. Wasn't that great to begin with? Yeah, I mean, you could very, very easily argue that that the West is defined by fascism, and should be considered like a central tenet of what the West is fascism and genocide. If we're just talking about trends, sort of modalities, patterns, social patterns that tend to emerge out of particular cultures. Yeah, banana bread is what matters. Of course. The founding fathers, quote, 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 were very obsessed with the Roman Republic. So was England. A lot of Western European countries were absolutely obsessed with the Roman Republic and Greek democracy. But just because they were obsessed with it, it doesn't mean that these, should be necessarily considered like component ingredients in what Western culture ought to be deemed as. I don't think that my fucking cultural history is failing. I'm sure that there have been like like there have been periods of time when Japanese culture has been obsessed with China, and Chinese culture becomes very fashionable. Do we then does Japanese culture now Chinese because of that? No, of course not. John Gall refuses to teach. New Angel Studios George Washington movie. Oh no, I didn't know there was one. God, I still need to do something with that Animal Farm movie they made. Yikes. Woo. Is the bread in BreadTube banana bread though? If it's the only way that I'll ever allow myself to be considered BreadTube is if it's banana bread. Before the liberal world order, the West was just the European nations and their diasporas. That's interesting. That's a fascinating claim. So, interesting. So the West is fundamentally globalist. That's a super interesting thing to say. I could get behind that. This is the thing about the West and the way that because the West is a fundamentally right-wing idea, and as a right-wing idea, the West is usually appealing to the idea that there is this like this sort of primordial eternal culture that exists that the West is embodying in itself. And I mean, you in fact also did like you did at least gesture toward that idea by bringing up Rome. That's really the only reason to bring up Rome. I mean, this is a real problem for you. You can either say that the West is the global liberal world order that emerged in the wake of the world wars in the 20th century, or you can say that the West is a product of this like big long lineage of great books and great men passed down through the ages beginning in ancient Rome. You can't have both. Do 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 do. Focus on editing. I can't. It's too late for me. In fact, I have to leave here in a second. I'm gonna reach up. There, I did it. I reached the bottom of the chat. Now I have to go. Yeah, how the Nazis are obsessed with the Roman Empire but knew so little about it. Yeah, all of this is just aesthetics. This is an argument from aesthetics. And as an aesthete, I feel like I'm in a pretty good position to counter what's going on here. Western Roman Empire became Christendom. Christendom became Europe. There's a lot of space between Roman Empire and Christendom. These are not like because like typically when we're talking about the West and appealing to like the suggestion that that ancient Rome should be considered a part of it, what we are talking about is republicanism, right? Like that's the important part of bringing up. That's the point of bringing up ancient Rome as a sort of like intellectual genealogical ancestor to the West, is that Rome had a republic and we have a republic. We are therefore derived from Rome. But that's fucking stupid because no Western European country for thousands of years, no Western European country was a republic of any kind. Every single one of them was a theocratic monarchy. Okay? So why should we consider republicanism or any form of representative democracy more Western than theocratic monarchies? Which I think you will find is the ultimate conclusion of the right wing, that we should have a theocratic monarchy, which is all, this entire conversation is designed to sort of disguise. See why not both. The West is a great lineage of thoughts and ideas descended from ancient Rome that was ruptured by the world wars and then became globalist. The reason it can't be both is because you're ignoring, give or take, 2,000 years of social organization that was not Republican. Buddy. Because of fervent dedication to deliver democracy equals theocratic monarchy. What are you trying to say there? I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. You'll have to be more specific with your tone. I hope you are, because otherwise that's like a goofy ass incoherent thing to say. Don't worry, Hampton. I'm pretty sure he was being sarcastic. I'm not sure what the sarcasm was in service of, but that's the only excuse I can think of to say something like that. 'Cause otherwise it doesn't make any sense at all. And for better or worse, I am, I like to see the sense in people. It wasn't, though. What the fuck are you talking about? We just talked about, and you know this. This is don't be stupid, man. Like that, for 2,000 years, all of Western Europe was theocratic monarchies. This is not that. What are you you're making me fucking wig out. I am short circuiting in my brain. What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. Ugh. You understand that theocratic monarchies and democracies, or republics, the difference between these systems of organization are so vast that even the vast differences between a republic and a democracy pale in comparison to the differences between either of those things and theocratic monarchies. So I'm Nothing? Nobody has anything to say? Okay. Well, if nobody has anything to say, then I'm gonna dip. Mexico has a very important game, and I shan't miss it. This is a completely is a 100% immaterial to anything that we've been talking about. It's so interesting how anytime I wonder if this is the case for other streamers. So Which President Sunday was here to tell me if this happens in his stream, because he's the only he's the only person really the only other streamer that I really know or have any any ability to ask, like, is this just like a sort of behavioral pattern that emerges in people who argue in your chat? Like, do they all sort of like revert to just talking about something fucking entirely differently? I have to imagine they do, because that's like one of the few benefits of being a chatter in a stream, is that like it's like the conversation between me and the chat is fundamentally kind of imbalanced, right? Like, you all know more about me and how I'm communicating than I know about you. You know, I can't like hold any of your feet to the fire because you can just leave, or you can just like take as much time as you want or need to write up whatever you need to in the chat. And so like there's not really any kind of like the sort of social, what's the word I'm looking for? The sort of social incentives that exist when you're talking to somebody in person just don't really exist online. And so I think that's what accounts for people just kind of like departing the conversation entirely, but pretending like they're still here, you know? Guns, Germs, and Steel might be a good book for this person to start on. Oh, no, Mike. Oh, don't get me started on this. Oh, in fact, my bad anthropology video is coming out next Monday, I think is what I agreed on with Nebula. Please don't fucking read Guns, Germs, and Steel. It's not a good book. It's really fucking bad. Guns, Germs, and Steel is not good. You know what else isn't good? This bullshit. Don't read this book. It's bad. It's not a good book. Neither of those motherfuckers, neither Harari nor Diamond, are anthropologists or have been trained in anthropology or are interested in learning anything about it. Everything they say is made the fuck up. Don't read them. Reading more for Mexico than the U.S. Mexico cares more about soccer than the U.S. does, so yeah. Yeah, Morag, I will be on Nebula starting Monday if everything goes to plan. That's the video I was editing today is for that. I'm gonna drop 2 videos on the same day. Dog. That's such a fucking stupid thing to say, dude. I'm sorry, but you cannot pick and choose the things that you like and claim that they are definitional of a culture. That's so silly. That is so silly. It's the same thing that Christians do when they argue that that things like women's rights and civil rights and democracy are fundamentally Christian because Christians embraced it. Even though, of course, these are all things that Christian theology is more than available for interpretation, and in fact quite clear about those things not being Christian values, that you are to have slaves, you are not to allow women equal rights, and yet somehow these things are still Christian because Christians endorsed them later on when it became fashionable and those people started demanding their rights. This you don't want to pull this thread, dude. It's like Dawn of Everything if it was ass. Yeah. Truly. It's not soccer. I'm sorry, I'm American. I'm not going to say football. It means a different thing here. Yeah, Guns, Germs, and Steel. It's really ill-regarded among anthropologists. Good books by actual anthropologists. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So the part of the problem here is that anthropologists don't tend to write big sweeping histories of of the history of civilization because it's really difficult to get into any kind of specificity about any of it. And human civilizations and cultures are so different from each other that it's really, really difficult to sort of tease out any actual like broad sweeping pattern. The best that I've seen is the Dawn of Everything obviously is like Graeber was an anthropologist, Wengrow is an archaeologist. This is still like I'm actually gonna talk about this in exactly the same way that I'm talking about it now in the video that I'm gonna post Monday. Dawn of Everything is not perfect, okay? Dawn of Everything is still fairly speculative. Because there's a lot that we just can't know because a lot of civilizations didn't keep written records or their written records were destroyed. We just can't know. But the big service that the Dawn of Everything provides this conversation to sort of pop intellectualism is that the assumptions that we make of those civilizations historically, like in Gun, Germs, and Steel, like in The West and the Rest, and whatever, like the history of all of these pop histories of civilization, like that history itself is so suffused with just these like unbelievably biased interpretations of things that you can't know anything about, and what the Dawn of Everything is trying to do is interpret those differently and sort of account for the variables that don't fit into the sort of like Jared Diamond, Yuval Noah Harari approach to world history, and suggest, look, if we interpret it this way instead, those things actually make sense. And what might that mean about the history of humanity? What does it mean that Teotihuacan has no evidence of a ball court, but every other Mesoamerican civilization does? What does that mean? You know? And then we can actually talk about things that are interesting and you know, how much agency is involved in civilizational development and whatever, blah, blah, blah. This book also is good. Myth and Noble Savage really, really quite good. It's not a pop history because, again, anthropologists don't really write those. But what this it's not a so despite the title, it's not a history of the myth of the noble savage as such. What it is a history of the creation of the myth that is the idea of the noble savage. That the noble savage was something that was like broadly accepted as fact during the Enlightenment, when it really actually wasn't. The idea of the noble savage was itself like a pretty like a product of Western expansionist propaganda. It was like something that these like right wingers would accuse any proponent of civil rights of having, and it just kind of got sort of, folded into the common understanding of historical thought. There's a coherent thought. I don't agree. I don't think it's right, but I also want to say that the idea of democracy is not inextricably linked to the West. Whether the West is currently linked to democracy, that's fine, but I still see no reason why we shouldn't link the West inextricably to communism and fascism then, and why those should not be considered the defining social organizational systems of the West. Why not? These are both Western ideas. Call it football. No. Ugh, yeah, y'all are keeping me over time. Ugh. Ah. It's not fair. Okay, yeah. So, I don't blame anybody for, having Guns, Germs, and Steel and, as the sort of framework. This is a super popular book. But this is a heavy criticism from anthropologists on Guns, Germs, and Steel, that culture derives from material conditions and very much not the other way around. It's not entirely the case. Jared Diamond really, really overemphasizes material conditions in his analysis. He basically thinks that your material conditions are determinative, and they're not. Human beings have agency. We decide to do things. Our material conditions influence that, but they are not determinative, because we get to decide what those things mean. And the same material conditions in one culture mean something completely different to another culture, Anthropology is so much more interesting when you're not a white supremacist. Yeah. Does the Noble Savage book qualify as hauntology? Possibly, yeah. I think so. Myth of a myth, yep. Tips on how to get better at texting. You're just trying to get me to stay. Stop it. You can DM me if you're serious about this. Do you see how badly I want to stay and give Hampton dating tips? I can't do it. Yeah. The feminization of natives is super interesting. I wish this was the kind of conversation that we could get into more specifics like that, but Hampton, why don't you want me to watch the game? I'm going to watch the game with my cousins. I'm going to have a Mexican ass night. Why can't you let me have this? Okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye. I'll be back. What's today? Today's Tuesday. I'll be back Friday, maybe. We'll see how how these videos go. I don't know. We'll see. It was, yeah, I know it was postponed, Hampton. I am half an hour away from everything.